it's Phil from Piezo Precision Automotive. We've got another Hyundai in here, 2010 TQ 2.5 litre standard sort of car that we get. This one's got a few running issues, or one running issue that he's complained about here and there. He says, oh, it's good, then it's not, it's a bit of a hesitation. This car's got 300,000 Ks on it, it's still running. It's got some engine blow by. We did the injector seals and seats last year, but it's still got a fair bit of blow by. Must be piston rings, this one now. When we'd get it here, we'd find that the air mass meter would be, have all the engine oil sort of coated with it from the blow by, be dirty, so we'd clean it and the car would go really well for 6 months or more, and then it'd sort of be coated again. So we said, oh look, we'll put a catch can on it just to get rid of that. So we put a catch can on that just last week, and he said it was still hesitating sometimes here and there up a big hill and whatnot. We didn't find any issue with it. It goes quite well. And then he said, no, it went really well after we picked it up. And then he said, started hesitating again. So we've brought it back, we've driven it with him, got that hesitation to happen up a hill. So we've put some gauges on it. We looked at live data, everything seemed fine on the live data. So I put my own gauges on these little analog old gauges, right? So I do a few cheeky things. I drill into the induction manifold, and I tap into it and I put my own fittings, and we got into the wastegate as well, just to watch vacuum and boost pressure on manual gauges, yeah? So I know, I'm not reading a scanner just in case I get some sort of false reading. So on these, you want boost up around the 30 psi and vacuum gauge on there on the actuator for the wastegate. So when we drive it, you can see that the vacuum stays good on the actuator, on the turbo actuator, so the wastegate. But then you watch the boost pressure, and it goes with the hesitation. It's like a miss kind of hesitation on boost, and you'll see that the thing fluctuates. So I think the turbo's binding up somewhere and locking up, and then causing that drop of pressure in the manifold. But we have had the front off just last week to have a look inside the turbo, because he was talking about the hesitation, and the thing spins free. It's got a little bit of inflow, nothing dramatic. There's no marks in the chamber in there where the turbo wheel is. So we could hear a funny noise whilst driving, but there was no hesitation when we were looking at it. You could hear this funny noise, but nothing. And live data shows fine. So anyway, we'll run this and we'll just show you what we get on it. Okay. So you can see this. It's got good boost pressure. Everything's staying sort of quite normal at the moment. So nothing's playing up. So this is the issue with having intermittent faults. Trying to find an intermittent fault. Everything's working fine with what you can see here, but we've actually got footage of the turbo fluctuating when it's sort of misfiring along here. We might have to sort of edit the video and put that in so you can see what it does and how it hesitates. Because for me to bloody drive this around and do it with two of us in the bloody car, it's costing me more money yet again. More money and time to diagnose a car that seems all good when everyone's driving it, and then for him it does it every now and then. We had to drive it this morning for what, an hour and a half for it to actually play up with us, and now that we're filming it, it's not gonna do it. But Sam did get it. It's not. It's really dramatic. Onto me in the car, yeah.
Go. Time.
Yeah. So we still can't really get it to demonstrate while he's here But the customer did also say that it was worse when it's cold. So when the engine's cold, it's now really hot, obviously. So it's better now. But I mean, I don't think the customer's going to want us to put a turbo on it anyway. I don't think he's got the money at the moment, but he'll most probably do it later. But it's just another way of demonstrating to you guys out there to, you know, you got to spend time diagnosing. We've spent a few hours getting to the bottom of trying to get this to do it as an intermittent fault, and we have, and we got there. Now to try and show you on video. Well, we've luckily Sam videoed it when it was doing it. I'm trying to show it. Yeah, it's not going to do it, but when it's hotter, it's better. Obviously, the oil's thinner and running around. Everything's at temperature expanded. So, you know, this is another thing. You could leave this on overnight and then drive it again in the morning. He's complaining it's a hill when he goes up. You know, it occasionally does it. So, and you might get it to demonstrate it. Now we've resolved. We know what the problem is here with the turbo. We don't know what it's binding up on. We've pulled it apart, obviously, to get it down. But it's just another way of diagnosing. I tap in manual gauges, you can see everything, and I will try and edit the video and put the when it's fluctuating on there as well. Okay.
Doesn't change. Wastegate pressure is not changing. Variable gain is fluctuating.
Okay, the video we made on the Hyundai, it was a couple of weeks ago. We haven't put it up yet, like a lot of them. But interesting, the guy's come back now. You see that he's found enough money to bloody go ahead with the turbo. And then also interesting, the turbo pressure, one of the hoses popped off on this, so over boosted. So now we've pulled the turbo off. It's an aftermarket turbo that's on there, like a cheap Chinese branded turbo. It's got the wrong fitting on the outlet as well. Like this is meant to have, it's a hose clamp fitting basically, not a clip-on fitting. So that's why the turbo hose blew off on the pressure side regardless, because someone's put a hose clamp and the spring clamps back here. So that's just one thing that's wrong. So we wanted to find out why the turbo might have been binding up or something. It all spins quite freely. We can actually see here it's been hitting on the exhaust wheel on the inside the turbo. You can also see on the induction side it's been hitting, a bit hard to see, but you can see the turn the light off. Yeah, see those scraping marks on there, and you can actually, well, we can see them on the wheel as well. That's the induction side. Hard to see. It was starting to blow out the side here as well. So you can see that on the darker side. So there was a bit of oil, whatnot coming through here. There's a lot of free play. Another mechanic trying to get in on the picture. Knows nothing, of course. So you can see this has got, it's got free play. It's got in and out free play as well, which is a bit of a problem, and that's what's binding that up. But it's excessive free play. Generally the oil takes up the free play, but anyhow, we're going to get the right turbo. And the other thing is that this one, on this car, someone's just put an oil cooled or oil turbo on as well. It's meant to have water going through it as well, which they've bypassed the water cooling system. So we're actually getting the correct turbo. I'm having to buy all the pipes and all the hoses are there, but I'm going to renew the hoses as well. So there's an extra bit, but someone's put a fucking cheap, you know, a $300 turbo, whatever it is, on there. So we're going to put the correct turbo back on it, hopefully give it longevity as well. So anyway, it's all good. Yep.